Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Ask Daniel. This is a bank holiday edition, so happy bank holiday to everybody. This question came in on Instagram by a lovely lady who said, "What was your experience like having a bone marrow transplant, and how did you feel before and after, and how long did it take for you to feel better? Was there anything unexpected about your experience?" Well, I can tell you, having a bone marrow transplant, how I felt was quite. We'd gone through a very long process actually of having. We had two. In my case, we had two kind of serums that had failed. It had failed to kickstart my own bone marrow, and we also had a first uh, bone marrow transplant donor, but unfortunately they had failed the medical that they were supposed to have. So we were kind of excited and jubilant that the next one came in. And it was quite a rush actually because we had the phone call to say that we had it, had it ready, and it was kind of a rush to get everything together and to get in there and everything. I did have a little bit of a wobble because unfortunately I hate to say I do smoke, so it was very difficult for me to try and understand. Not being able to go out of the room and not being able to have a cigarette while having the process underway. So that was kind of hard to deal with. But no, I found the experience then. They had me on. They had to put a line in my chest, which was the line with two little prongs at the bottom, so they could take stuff in, put stuff in and take stuff out. And eventually they had me kind of on loads of different antibiotics. They had on different kind of medical things that were to clear my bone marrow completely clear, and then enter a new one, which took about 8 hours to go through because they had to go through slowly. And my dad, bless him, he was there for 8 hours because I didn't want anyone there to begin with. My mental state wasn't as great as it could have been. I didn't want anybody there. I wanted to be on my own. But my dad refused to take that on board, and he sat with me for 8 to 9 hours, every minute of the hour. He never left my side once, which was bless him, which was fantastic. Although he kind of was watching my TV and playing my PlayStation and eating my snacks out of my drawer. Yeah, he kind of reminded me of that later on down the line. But yeah, no, it was an experience in itself. But yeah, that part there. And how long did it take for me to feel better? Well, afterwards, after I was told that I could go home, very difficult because I had to go in every day to. First of all, I had day visits home because they wouldn't allow me home completely. Then I was allowed home, but I had to go back in every day, which meant that my grandparents, bless them, had to run me in every day. I did have side effects though. Unfortunately, I had back problems and arm problems and things that made the whole experience a lot harder. But they were pleasantly surprised at the fact that the bone marrow transplant held, because sometimes it obviously has to make sure that it's right for the body. And apparently, according to the technical team there, that it kind of took 2 weeks after initially having it in my system. So it took 2 weeks, which is unbelievable. It was one of the fastest that they'd ever experienced, and I never suffered any GVH, which in layman's terms is graft versus host disease. Didn't suffer any of that at all. Didn't have any rashes. Didn't have any kind of side effects towards that. No GVH, no nothing. So then they, as I was improving, they extended the time. So it was like every day I had to go in, then every 2 days, and every 3 days, 4 days, by so on and so on and so on, to the point of then when it got to every year, which was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And then it kind of got to the point of where I didn't have to go in as much, but I did have other problems. I had too much iron in my system, had to go back in and get it kind of all taken out and things, but that was like later on down the line. So yeah, no, that was. And how was there anything unexpected about the experience? Well, yeah, the obviously, like I said, the unexpected part of it was the fact that it kind of took to my body so quick. It took to my systems very, very quick. And like I said, the quickest that they've ever had, or one of the quickest that they sold me anyway. But a funny thing that I will say is that they gave me kind of sedative to do a bone marrow exploratories before it all kind of went in. A little bit of a funny story for you for the end. Yeah, a little bit of a funny story. They were doing some bone marrow exploratories, and they had to give you sedative to obviously not be able to feel anything. And I was absolutely convinced after they gave me the sedative, and it kind of took its effect. I was absolutely convinced that my consultant at the time was Kylie Minogue. I was absolutely convinced because I'm a big fan of Kylie Minogue, and I was convinced that she was Kylie. And bless the staff there when I was there for weeks, and then obviously for the 2 weeks that I had to stay for it to hold, and every day I had to go back. They always used to say, "How's Kylie?" And always used to take the mick out of me, and they never forgot, which was brilliant. I really appreciate that to them. I have to say, big up to the staff there at the oncology centre because they made me feel they made me feel kind of not special, but they made me feel one of within myself, more comfortable within myself in the experience as a whole. So yeah, no, it was fantastic. So I hope that kind of sorry, it was a bit of a long video this one, but thank you very much for the question. I hope it does kind of answer your question as much as I can. If obviously you want any more information, please don't hesitate to either contact myself again or contact one of the support team. I'm sure they'll be able to answer your questions as well. Remember, we've got ears, we can listen. If you want a shoulder to lean on, or a shoulder to cry on, or an ear to chew off, we're all here to help. Honestly, we're all here to help. That's what we're here for. So, thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. So, one love to everybody. Thank you very much indeed, and peace out. One love.